Hey viewers, welcome to another game with Casual Pro Gamer. Today we are once again doing the Noob guide for noobs, and today we are doing one of the most popular, well, low-level gods, I guess. He is still very strong at the high levels, don't get me wrong, but he's very popular on lower levels. It is Zeus! As you can see, a redesign has happened today. We have a new god out today, and we once again have a redesign on part of the game, which is awesome. We're still in beta, so they're kind of trying out different designs, seeing what works best, and we are going to discuss the items here and disregard everything else. So, Zeus is a magical auto attack guy, who also has spells, of course, to do things, but yeah, he is mainly there for the auto attacks. Good things on him are attack speed, obviously magical power, penetration, and that's about all you need. You don't really need defensive stats because, well, you can stay pretty far away and you should do fine without them. So, yeah, just here from what we have as actives, we are going to say Eye of Providence, if you're a mid lane, is kind of a must because you can pick up those gold caps so quickly, but you do need vision on them. You do need vision on when someone is ganking you. You are a very, very squishy carry, so you might want to watch out for that. Also, well, this will provide you with all the protection you need, basically, but you can also go for Combat Blink to get you out of those nasty situations or into them, because Combat Blink can be used both ways. Normal Blink, of course, cannot. Aegis then. Aegis is very good as well. We seem to have a second Aegis here. Yeah, okay. 20% damage reduction buff. And this one has 20% damage reduction buff as well, but this can be used even, well, whatever. One of them will be better. I didn't read them, obviously. I just noticed that there were two now. Yeah, Purification Beads, still good. But you do need to make sure that you have something defensive there to get out of those situations where you don't want to be. Because, well, you have enough offense. So offensive things like the Girdle of Might, Girdle of Inner Power, I guess, not really necessary. Hand of the Gods, not really necessary. So the Fist of the Gods would be the thing of choice otherwise. But yeah, you don't really need those. So get either Aegis or Purification Beads and get Eye of Providence and you should be fine. Then starter items. Yeah, your only real starter item that you can go with is Vampiric Shroud, which gives you mana and health back every time you kill an enemy, which is great because you mostly kill enemies with basic attack, so it will net you mana and health. Yeah, stats here, where we're going to start with the main tab. This is your main tab. Your demonic grip is or the demonic grip, I should say, is your most important item. It gives you attack speed, 25% attack speed, which is a great boost, as well as reduced magic protection. And it also gives you magical power, so it's all you need, and you can find it easily, of course, by doing this. The Telekinesis Ring is good on Conquest. It's not as good on the other game modes. You don't really need it because it kind of doesn't have enough magical power. It does have 10% attack speed, it does have magical protection, so it's a decent item, but it's not as good as others are, and therefore it's not really used that much. I think they should boost it a little bit more. But it is a good item on Zeus. So definitely you can go for that if you can get it in the early game. But there are so many items to pick from in that early game. Shoes, of course, the Shoes of Focus would be your main thing. Even though you would say, well, I'm auto-attacking, so why do I not want the 15 magical penetration, but instead want the 15% cooldown reduction? Well, you have a stun on your 3, which triggers when you have 3 stacks on someone, and the cooldown on that kind of defines how much damage you do. So getting the Shoes of Focus is a very, very beneficial thing for you. Doom Orb, definitely good. The other, well, the Divine Rune, yeah, only if you're up against mages, and then you go for the other one. So basic attack one, not the spell one. Once again, you are a basic attacker. Obsidian Shard, definitely a yes. Then Spear of the Magus, yeah, not so much. You don't cast spells, you basic attack, so yeah, you don't really have damaging abilities that damage them multiple times every time. Polynomicon, definitely good. You can do very well with it if you watch out when you cast your spells and when you do that one attack that actually does bonus damage. You're going to get a whole lot of magical power, so you might as well use that to your advantage, and you have spammable skills because, well, you are going for cooldown reduction. So yeah, you might as well use that to your advantage. Voidstone, yeah, this is a definite yes. Focus Voidstone, always a good item, even if there's no magic damage on the enemy team. Then Wall of Absolution, it's not the best option to go for, but it does have a nice amount of physical protection. Physical protection, that was correct. And it also has a decent amount of magical power. It's just not good enough if you're building damage. Normally, if you're having trouble with magical protection or magical damage, you would want to go for the Breastplate of Valor instead. It gives you the 25% cooldown reduction that you're, well, kind of lacking, because you only had the 15% from the Shoes of Focus, and then you want 25% more from an item like that. So yeah, that would definitely be good. Then as I said, Demonic Grip, yeah, oh hang on, I already was past that. Bancroft's Talon, a lot of people like this. I don't really like it. It's 100 magical power, sure, and you get extra magical power for every percent that you're missing, so it's up to 199 additional magical power. It's a great deal, but the magical lifesteal kind of sucks. It doesn't really do a whole lot else. Yeah, I would leave it for what it is personally, but if you like it, go get it. Anyway, Kronos Pendant then. Kronos Pendant is a decent amount of magical power. It also is 25% ability cooldowns. So this one would be your alternative to going for the Breastplate of Valor. It's also 25%. It is great for that. So this would be my preferred lifesteal item, magical lifesteal. It's 15%. This one was 12%. So it's more lifesteal, but not only that, it's more magical power. And that is what you want. You want that magical power. Plus it gives an aura, which is excellent. For the rest, Warlock Sash only if you get it early, so that would be this one, not the other one. The other one is crap, unless they changed it. Gem of Isolation, a definite yes, because if you detonate your stacks, that's your stun thingy, and even if you don't have 3 stacks on someone, you will still slow them, and that is excellent. Also, you can slow the entire team with your 1. Ethereal Staff, yeah, it's not really used a whole lot on Zeus, but it can be used if you're having some health issues and you want to have, well, a decent amount of health in addition to your magical power. Sure. Book of Thought, really, I never see this because you don't need the mana, you don't need the MP5. So yeah, it's not that good. Soul Reaver also not very good, although if you use it correctly, then I guess it can noob down people very quickly. The problem is that you don't get to choose who takes the damage unless you're only damaging one god with your basic attacks. But normally you just attack whoever is closest, and therefore it's not that good. So Rod of Tahuti then. This is a definite must-have, and yeah, well, the stats say why. I mean, it is an increase of 25% on your magical power plus 125, or rather 125 plus 25%, because the 25% also applies to the 125. All in all, just get the big damage items and then the utility items that are useful for you. So Gem of Isolation if you want to slow. The Warlock Sash, I guess, when you're having trouble with health and mana. It is a good item though. The Doom Orb, if you're doing really well in the early game, or if you just want the MP5 for the early game, then it's great. And then for the rest, yeah, it's the damage. You want that attack speed and damage and blah blah. Already discussed these. The only real viable ones are Demonic Grip and Telkina's Ring. Fatalis and Witchstone, yeah, really not that viable. Lifesteal, already said. Polynomicon would be the one that you should prefer. If you really can't go for that, or if for some reason you don't like it, Pythagorean's Piece would be your, well, your alternative, I guess. Divine Rune and Bancroft's Talent, still good items, I'm not saying that, but they are kind of specific to playstyles and such, so my playstyle doesn't fit it. Maybe yours does, so maybe you should go for that. And penetration, yeah, your penetration should come not from your shoes, but from Obsidian Shard, Demonic Grip, and Void Stone. All three of those items really good on you, on any magical damage dealer actually. So this, you shouldn't shop in this except for the Breastplate of Valor. You shouldn't just shop in this except for the Talkena's Ring and the Void Stone. And the health, you shouldn't shop in this at all. As I said, there are some items in here that still provide health. So Warlock Sash, Gem of Isolation, even Ethereal Stuff, they're still decent. They're not great, but they're decent. Yeah, it's all about what you want out of it. Of course, the rest of the items is kind of blah. But yeah, make sure you have the 40% cooldown reduction. So with the shoes, you have 15%. Make sure you pick up either Breastplate of Valor, even if it's just for the cooldown reduction, or Kronos Pendant. If you have no physical damage on the enemy team, obviously you're going for Kronos Pendant, because then this only gives you mana and 25% cooldown reduction, whereas this gives you mana, magical power, and cooldown reduction. And therefore it would be better in that situation. So mana, you don't need that, and MP5, you don't need that either. Don't spam your skills and you should be fine. So anyhow, on to the playstyle video, which means we're going to, well, call this quits, and I will see you for the next game. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Choo-choo.